The KE3 flashlight smartwatch. I thought it was a pretty useful and neat feature to have a flashlight integrated into a smartwatch. Finally, a useful feature, although it still has all the useless non-functional health sensors, but we can just ignore those. I bought this for about $30 on Temu, and it came with a metal strap in addition to the installed silicone strap. Here's everything that came in the package. It feels really light despite the metal looking materials. I like the look of this watch. There are two action buttons on the side, the top one being rotatable for scrolling. The bottom button is programmable. We'll get into that later in the settings. Let's get to the most important part. How well does the flashlight work? The biggest annoyance is that they didn't make it easily accessible. The only way to activate the flashlight is to swipe down to the shortcuts and hit flashlight. The touch area is small, and if you got some dry or rough skin, it makes it hard to get right. Even with my skinny twig fingers, I have a hard time activating the toggles. They should have made the touch area a little larger. There are two buttons on the side, and one of which can be customized, but they didn't allow it to be set as a flashlight function. So this is very disappointing, as it seems like a huge oversight. Double clicking or a single long press would have worked so much better for this feature. It could have been just this model, and other brands that have this same design could be programmed better. So if you know of a brand and model that has a better design for the flashlight activation, let me know in the comments. Okay, so two motions once the screen is on isn't horrible. So let's see how bright it is. I'll be using a Titan Slim with one of the worst cameras available. Here's how it looks in a room with no light looking into my storage box. The light is good for lighting up something maybe 1 or 2 feet in front. You can actually read some of the text there. But trying to light up a walkway or the sidewalk from waist height in a standing position, you can still see the light, but it's barely there. I wouldn't use this to light my path or to get attention from passerbys. Here it is with the phone's LED activated for comparison. Now let's get on to the rest of the watch. Here are the built-in watch faces. You can just long press on the home screen and scroll through the available watch faces. For the user interface, from the home screen, swipe down for shortcuts as mentioned earlier. Swipe up gets you your notifications. Swipe to the left for your favorite pinned apps. Swipe to the right for the recent apps, the weather, a phone shortcut, and a date. For the buttons, the top button gets you your main app list. You can rotate the dial to scroll the screen, but clicking again brings you back to the home screen and not for selecting something on the screen. The bottom button by default functions as a back button, but this can be customized to perform a custom action. Let's look at the shortcut screen. You have brightness, settings, find phone, system info, flashlight, the phone settings, do not disturb mode, which turns off vibrations for notifications, but they will still appear on your list. Battery savings mode, which disconnects Bluetooth, dims the display, and turns off lift to wake. Also lowers the on-screen time to 3 seconds. Now let's dig into the settings. We have the menu styles, and here's how each one looks like. The first one is a vertically scrolling icon grid with no text. The second one is a vertical arc list style with text. This is my favorite one as it's easy to navigate and understand. The third one is a horizontally scrolling arc with text under the center icon. The fourth is a rotary dial with the center icon as the selected action, which is the icon on the 6 o'clock position. You can't touch the other icons on the dial, only the center one. You can rotate the icons around by touch or by using the rotation dial, but clicking it won't affect it, which is another user interface oversight. The display settings let you choose your watch face, the brightness, and the lift to wake toggle. The battery shortcut shows the charge status and has a power savings toggle. Vibration ring sets the notification type. It can chime and vibrate or just vibrate. I prefer vibrate only. Language sets the language, obviously. QR code is the QR code for pairing to the phone using the app if you don't want to use the Bluetooth search. Down key function sets the lower button to a set customized action. Short click and long hold, which is an incredibly long 5 seconds. I have to set my screen on time to 10 seconds just so the screen doesn't shut off while I'm holding the button. This is very sloppy design and it should be a 2 or 3 second long press. The password setting lets you set a numerical password to lock your watch if you think that's needed. The system setting shows your MAC address and the software and ROM versions. You also get the shutdown and system reset options. Let's look at all the apps on this phone. The phone app opens up the dialer. Contact person is your favorite contacts set up from the phone app. Call records is your call history. Voice assistant lets you activate the Google Assistant from your watch. It is neat and could come in handy, although the volume is kind of low. What's the weather in Lake Titicaca?
Right now in Lake Titicaca, it's 56 degrees and mostly cloudy. Today, it'll be mostly cloudy, with a forecasted high of 57 and a low of 50.
Data is a summary of your health sensors. Workout activates tracking based on the activity. Workout record is a history of your workouts. Then you have your health tracking apps, your messages, the weather app, an app for female menstruation tracking, music controls, a breathing guide app if you forgot how to do so, a stopwatch and timer app. These will keep the screen on and it's kind of a battery waster if you're doing extended timekeeping. Alarm settings, which you need to set up on the phone side. QR code for your payment apps like PayPal, you'll have to set these up on your phone app. Business card info is just a storage of QR codes based on your contact information for each respective app on the list. Again, you have to set this up on the phone side. There's a calendar and calculator app, which is handy if you need it on short notice. The Find phone app, which is pretty useful. The camera shutter feature, which activates the app's camera and you can use your watch to activate the shutter. And another redundant setting shortcut. Now let's get to the phone app, which is FitCloud Pro. On installation, it will ask you to create an account before continuing, but like most of these cheap smartwatch apps, you can just skip it. Clip on the top corner to use without an account. You will only miss having your personal settings saved or downloaded watch faces saved to your account. Next, it will ask you for your personal info, but it's from the default units of centimeter for height and kilogram for weight, which I'm not familiar with, so I just go with whatever it shows and we can fix that later on. Once you're in, you can pair up your watch just by using the search, or you can use the QR code function under the settings QR code. Once paired, you also pair up the Bluetooth audio for using the watch to make phone calls, the AI assistant, or to play your media through your watch. In the Me tab, now you can set the units and adjust the measurements for your profile if the default ones weren't right for you. The app is pretty basic, which could be a good thing. You have your settings to remind you if you're female when your period is coming. Your exercise goals, Google Fit syncing, a frequently asked questions page, and app settings, which give you shortcuts to the power savings so the app can run properly without being shut down. I found the only setting I had to do on my Android 13 phone was to go into the Android settings by pulling down the notifications panel twice, hitting the gears, go into apps, clicking on the FitCloud Pro app, then clicking app battery usage and making sure it's in unrestricted mode. In the Home tab, there's a summary of your health sensors if you trust this device for these settings. And finally, under Device, you get to set up your mobile wallet for payment services like PayPal or WeChat. This actually just stores your QR code from your application so that you can share it to people who want to pay you by showing a QR code on your watch. You also can set up a business card to share your contact information, which is still just a QR code generated from the respective app. Push notifications sets up which apps you want to send your watch notifications. This one is actually better than others because not only do you have a preset list, but you can also choose which specific app installed on your phone you want notifications from. Alarms sets your alarms. This is the only way to set up alarms as there's no way to do so from the watch itself. Activity reminder, if on, will buzz your watch if you're not moving for an hour to remind you that you're still alive. A drink reminder, if on, will buzz your watch so you can remember to drink some water. Dial library lets you download more watch faces. Sports push lets you download specific physical activity modules to measure your calorie burn if you choose to set this up. Weather reports syncs your weather based on the location from your phone. Raise to wake is self-explanatory, and they make you set the time it's active. Elevated heart rate measurement warns you if your heart is beating too fast. Automatic health measure monitors your health at a preset time period. Find Watch sends a notification from your phone to your watch in case you misplaced it. Wrist preference of left or right, I'm not sure what it does, and I saw no difference setting either one. Then you have your 12 or 24-hour time setting. The frequent contacts sets up a list of contacts for fast access if you make phone calls for your watch a lot. Shake photograph opens up the camera app window, and you can use your watch as a remote shutter. Lastly, the factory reset and device version info. I've been using this for several weeks and I have the brightness setting to the lowest. The lift to wake on time to 2 seconds, but the screen on time to 10 seconds. Vibration is at its strongest. The watch loses about 10% per day, so each full charge can last roughly 10 days, but likely I charge it once a week. Charging takes about 2 hours. This has been one of the better cheap watches I've found and plan to use it on a regular basis long term. While I still love my Pebble Time, my old eyes strain to see the small screen, especially at night. This watch's large bright display, even at its lowest setting, is easy to see and read in any light condition. The vibration, while not as strong as my Pebble, is strong enough to get my attention. I wish they allowed more complete customization of the buttons, but for my use, it's workable. I'll end this video with the gallery of available watch faces from their app.